Hey everybody, I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm really excited today because I'm going to share my recipe for shrimp ceviche. Ceviche has become one of my most favorite things to eat, and I love to make it and I love to bring it to parties, especially if it's a backyard summertime party. This recipe pairs really well with like a really good margarita or a cold beer. We can all dream about that. Okay, so even though ceviche, which is a cured fish or seafood, so it's cured in citrus. So today we're curing our shrimp in lime juice. Even though it originated in Peru, where they would serve it typically with like sweet potato and corn, we're heading over to Mexico with my recipe because I kind of like the flavor profiles of Mexico. With this specifically, and I like to eat it with tortilla chips. Like instead of having a knife and fork, I like to be able to dip it and eat it that way. So today we're going to do shrimp ceviche. I've got about a pound of shrimp here that's been cleaned and deveined. It just still has the tail on. See? And we're going to slice those up really small pieces. And then we've got a mango, some red pepper. I've got a quarter of a red onion, a quarter of a Spanish onion, and then I've got jalapeno, cilantro, of course lime juice, and then salt and pepper. Putting up my shrimp here now. When I bought this shrimp, it had the tails on, it's raw, but it was cleaned and deveined already. You know, I'm from Newfoundland, and I'm spoiled rotten when I'm up in Newfoundland when it comes to seafood and fish, because I have wonderful people up there that give me fish and give me seafood, and it's usually really fresh, usually got that day. I don't really have that option here in Florida all the time, so I often buy frozen wild caught seafood and fish, because then I know, firstly, that it's wild caught. Secondly, I know that when I thaw it, I'm thawing it and eating it the same day. A lot of times in the supermarkets, the seafood counters just have fish and seafood laid out that has been previously frozen. So I'm like, what's the point? I don't know how long that's been sitting there. So now we're gonna take our red onion and we're just gonna dice it up in small little pieces. So like I said, you wanna cut everything as if it was going into a salsa. You know, like you're gonna dip your chip in there and you want a little bit of everything to fit onto a chip. So I'm gonna dice it up pretty small. And then I'm gonna add in my little bit of Spanish onion as well. I would say that we're talking about a half a cup's worth of onion in total, so half and half. If you only have red onion, you could just choose all red onion if you want. I just love the flavor of both. And then I'm gonna dice up my red pepper. I'm gonna dice up all of this jalapeno. If you don't want your jalapeno to be really spicy, you can just take the seeds out. I'm gonna have mine spicy, so I'm gonna leave the seeds in mine. But you can take the seeds out, or you can leave it out altogether. I mean, I personally love the heat in this dish, and I love the heat with the mango, because it gives this like hot and sweet thing going on. All right. Hey everybody, so I'm just dicing up my mango now, and just to recap, in the bowl we've got about a pound of shrimp, uncooked, deveined, cleaned shrimp that's been diced up. We've got a quarter cup of diced red onion, a quarter cup of diced Spanish onion, a nice helping of cilantro, a whole medium-sized red pepper that's been diced up, a jalapeno that's been diced up very small. And now we're just gonna add our mango, and we're gonna add salt, pepper, and a big whack of lime juice. That's it. Okay, so I'm just putting my lime juice in. I'm on the 4th lime right now. You cannot go wrong with too much lime juice in this dish. Everything needs to be covered in lime. So these limes are fairly juicy, so I'd say it's about a cup or so worth of lime, but you just have to judge with your own limes. And now we're gonna stir it up and cover it in plastic and put it in the fridge. Your mixture is like floating in lime juice. Can you see that? Take my plastic wrap and put it over the bowl, and just use a little extra, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna pat it down so that the lime juice starts to float to the top. Then we're sure we have enough lime juice in there, because we want everything to be in lime juice all the time that it's in the fridge. So I'm gonna put this in the back of my fridge so it gets really cold. I'm gonna leave it for about an hour. Now you could probably eat ceviche before an hour. It'll be cured, I would think, in about 20 minutes, but I like to have mine really, really cold. I'm a big temperature, texture person, so I like to have my ceviche really cold, my margarita really cold, and then really sturdy tortilla chips to dip in here and eat. It's freaking awesome, and I love it so much. And that's it. So now we just wait. We put it in the fridge and we wait for about an hour minimum. This can also be made up to several hours in advance. If I'm taking this to a party, I'll often make it in the morning and then it'll be just done by the evening. It'll last up to about 3 days in the fridge. After that, the shrimp breaks down a bit too much and I'm not too fussy on it. But yeah, I'm excited. I've got my ceviche all served up with some tortilla chips on the side. Now let's face it, I'm gonna add a few more tortilla chips to this by the end. But the shrimp is now white, which means it's cured with the lime juice and it's ready to eat. It's super cold. I can't wait for you guys to try this. Oh my gosh, it's really, really good.